curious lang po ako, no? Kasi medyo nagbabanggit na rin naman kayo ng mga public serve, kung ano ibig sabihin ng public service. And I think among us, very clear what public service means, and ano yung kino-constitute for something to be called a public service. Siguro po parang sa akin mas yung idea ng ngayon, looking forward, ano po yung nakikita ninyo na mga challenges pertaining to public service? I think number one in the university, and maybe how you see the role of Padayon, maybe trying to bridge that gap. Banggit na kayo ng kung may mga gap talaga sa kakulangan ng government response, for example, to disaster, no? But in contemporary times, especially with the thrust of the current president on public service, how do you think we should now be defining, understanding public service? And in this aspect, how do we how can Padayon have a more proactive role in this, no? In this equation, lalong-lalo na siya yung nagiging focus ng current administration.
Yeah, I'll say something about that, no? I think sa mga UP faculty and even students, we see ourselves mainly as public intellectuals but not as public servants. Di ba? Pag UP,
that's a very
public,
interesting,
kasi dami kami ng publics eh. So, public intellectual. Pero ano ba yung public servant? So, meron din tayong idea kasi public servant na sa mga depressed, underserved, mga ganong areas, ganon. But no, we're doing public service actually kahit sa corporate level yan eh. The fact that you're providing, no, your not only technical know-how, no, pero yung expertise mo on your domain, di ba? So yun na yun, you're doing public service. Ko, ang idea natin kasi ng public servant ay yung mga parang CSWCD lang ba yan? Hindi pwede yung mga taga-BA, hindi pwede yung mga taga-econ. May ganun. So I think we have to make that clear. No, this we are, kaya nga tinanggal yung extension mas public service kasi we are really a public service university. So sa akin naman, ang challenges, no, I try to do that. So after all the programs, and I'm so happy that it's now under program. So we can now suggest, we can now also propose projects. So continuing all those, no, that were initiated and were implemented by my predecessors. So during my time, ang height nun ay mental health. So actually hindi pa nga pinag-uusapan yung mental health, but because shout out kay Dr. Olivia Baswell ng UP Health Service, no. So kasi co-parent ko yan sa Miriam noon. So, okay, because sabi niya, alam mo ba na grabe, itong ang daming UP students na may problem sa mental and sexual health. Kasi yung mga students, no, na may mga STD, hindi alam ng mga parents. So, they go there,
Wow.
And these are, and I don't know, no, do you remember that at one point in time, ay meron tayong hotline? But who will use a hotline?
Oo nga.
Yeah. Diba? I mean,
Saka very sensitive.
Parang alam ko yung commercial na suportahan taka. Ganun na, diba? Pero who would, use a hotline and say that it seems like I have an STD? No, diba?
Of course.
Or kaya pupunta lang sila sa health service, and then the test, and oh my gosh, you have syphilis, you have gonorrhea, you have
Siyempre, napaka-confidential na.
Confidential, very embarrassing. And that was very, very alarming. Yes. Actually, hanggang ngayon so actually, 2 weeks ago lang, nagkita ulit kami, no? And then I asked, sabi niya ganyan, yung mga estudyante, medyo nag-dwindle na yung number ng sexual health patients because more or less they know now how to manage it. Unlike before, hindi nila alam how to, no? Yeah. But anyway, so during that time, nag-propose ako ng mental health and sexual health. And very fortuitous, no? Because at that time then, Dr. Villeta Bautista, Ma'am Bolet, shout out, no? Pumunta rin siya kay President Danilo Concepcion at that time and, trying to get his attention about mental health issues. At sabi ko, tamang-tama, at sabi sa akin ni EVP, meron din doon si Dr. Bolet, mag-ano kayo? So we did a collab, more or less, and then lahat ng CU. Siyempre, ang pinakasikat diyan, UP Manila, because they have the psychiatrists, they have the medical, practitioners there. No? So, and then, thankfully, nagkaroon ng first Mental Health Summit 2018, no?
Saan pala nag-build na ng tayo?
Oh, yes! But it was really very memorable for me personally because siyempre trabaho namin yan, di ba? And then on the first day of the Mental Health Summit was my mastectomy, was my surgery sa PGH, no? So, talaga, halimbawa, ngayong morning.
Kaya feel mo yung ano.
Feel ko yun, oo. Mental health, di naman. Breast naman yun, no? So anyway,
Hindi may mental ano din yun.
mental din yun, oo. Pero syempre, iba naman yung sa aking mga estudyante, no?
Yes.
But anyway, ang point din was, I'm also thankful, I said also thank to EVP Ted Erbosa because I can say this now, no? Una-una nung na yon, sinabi na lang sa akin, the first day, so sabi nga, let's pause and let's parang give a short prayer for me na nag-undergo ng surgery. That was, very nice of him naman. And then not only that, yung aking anesthesiologist, PGH syempre, na siyang sabi na, huwag kang kung ano-anong private dyan na hospital, PGH ka, sabi niya. Sige po, PGH, no? And then I'm very thankful then, Chancellor Padilla then, they were there, they visited me. And then, ang nagulat ako that day ng aking surgery, nasabay ng Mental Health Summit, dumating ang sabi ko, hindi ito ang anesthesiologist ko. So dumating ang wife ni Dr. Erbosa and sabi niya, yeah, I'm the wife of, Dr. Erbosa, and he said that I will take care of you. So wow. So thank you ha. Ayan EVP, DO Secretary ha. I already said thank you before. I'm thank you again, di ba? But yun nga, yung Mental Health Summit, sana may follow through. Kasi ang dami niya, no, mga C's and how to do it, etc. No? So anyway, yung nabanggit ko din kanina that kaya is not, merong, how will I put it, administrative difficulties before in terms of Padayon as a system office. Pero pagpunta mo kasi dun sa mga CUs, ang meron sila, wala pang Padayon, kundi Pahinungod offices. So we were coordinating before with Pahinungod offices, di ba? But with the Mental Health Summit, na-identify yung mga offices na pwedeng ma-coordinate. So I hope ma-follow through.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's something that's also we're working on. Yeah. Ma'am, sige, Ma'am Chet, and then later si Sir Ferdinand.
Hindi ko na alam kung ano idudugtong ko pa doon, no? Pero yung in terms of programs nga kasi, no, palaging Padayon is always in yung behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. So, parang at hindi madaling makita yung ganung value ng isang opisina. Mas madaling makita yung nagpunta ako, nagdala ako ng relief goods, di ba? Pero yung nag-mobilize ka ng experts at gumawa ka ng programa to lead the mobilization of experts, the deployment of our experts, or at least yung generation of what is needed by those who will go to the field, no? Yun hindi madaling makita yon, pero lahat ng yon ay ginagawa ni Padayon. So going back to yung earlier discussion natin kanina, during the pandemic, yan yung time na kailangan may academic roadmap si OVP-AA. Pero how will you be able to traverse the map if you don't have the equipment, di ba? If our students, even our faculty, do not have anything to use. And so, that was the time, actually, isa to dun sa parang mga memorable at very challenging, no? Na pinagdaanan din ng Padayon. Kasi parang isa kami sa primary na tinap doon sa problema na ito. So, anong gagawin natin? We have this number of students at this point. Wala silang mga gadget, wala silang mga laptop, iPads, whatever, na pwede nilang gamitin para sa online learning. Na kailangan, kasi hindi naman, at first, di ba, hindi naman natin alam na ganun tatagal yung pandemic na yan. We were thinking, for 2 months, okay na. Pero nung na-realize natin na, hindi, mukhang tatagal ito. Parang we need to do something about it. And so, yun yung nangyari, di ba? So, long story short, kinailangan na again, no, parang anong gagawin? So, sabi mo nga, masarap gumawa ng public service. It's kumbaga, as the oblation symbolizes, it's offering ourselves, no, to our people. Pero kung wala kang resources para
would you
gawin
do that?
yon, paano mo gagawin yon? And I guess isa yan dun sa mga problema natin sa Padayon, di ba? So parang gusto nating kumilos, gusto nating mag-deploy, tumulong, mag-coordinate, mag-lead sa deployment ng tulong, no, para sa mga disaster-stricken areas. Pero paano natin gagawin? Wala naman tayong funds to be able to do that. So that was when, again, give to UP. If you're familiar with the Give to UP portal, at one point, I think sa panahon ng aking mga predecessors, na-establish, no, yung Give to UP. But at one point, OVPAA yung may handle nito. Pero during the pandemic, since si Padayon yung natatap na, resource generation tayo, kailangan natin ng gadget for our students. So, anong pwede natin gamiting channel? And then, I saw the Give to UP. Pero at that point, talagang, ano bang meron dito? So, kinailangan naming pag-aralan, kinailangan naming mag-coordinate, and all until finally, in a month's time, naayos at nagamit. No, of course, hindi siya perfect, but naging magandang channel siya nung mga donation. So, kumbaga, resource generation is something na ginagawa ni Padayon so that the university will be able to craft programs para sa public service, di ba? Of course, si alumni, which is part of OVPPA, di ba? Mahalaga yung naging synergy nila with Padayon, kasi we tap our alumni para doon sa mga resource generation projects na ito. So, in other words, ganun natin tinugunan yung problema ng pagbabahagi ng serbisyo ng universidad. Yung ganon. At malaki yung naging papel dito ni Padayon. So, yun, no? Ganon.
Sir Herb,
Yun.
as a last, natin.
Pagyayabang pa rin ako.
Oh, yes, sige, sir.
For a purpose na. Kasi yung tanong yung challenge.
Oo.
I think, kasi nga, system office ka, you cannot be so much into the nitty-gritty.
Yes,
correct.
Maubos ang oras mo dyan.
Correct.
And besides, nandyan yung mga units. And precisely, it is because nandyan yung mga units, expertise, kailangan mo lang yung mag-gather together, mag-synergize yan. No? Tingin ko, ang isang challenge is developing yung, I don't know how I will frame it, strategic initiatives.
That's,
The term program is also okay. For example, you mentioned, ngayon ko lang na-crystallize dito because you mentioned yung mental health summit.
Sexual health.
This was also, also a DRRM summit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, probably, in the future, to develop na meron ka talagang regulars.
Right.
Na parang baby mo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Na sila yung pinakakailangan ng panahon.
Yeah.
Right now, ang pinakakailangan pa noon, climate change, disasters related to climate change. And then mental health,
Sexual
malaki.
health din.
Sexual health, these two things, na dati-rate, hindi mo napapalitaw.
Yeah.
Ito, dati-rate, nandyan siya, locally. But doon ko na-realize, ko, wala pa bang system-wide na training, orientation? I think this should be done regularly. Na reach out sa mga iba't LGUs or what, training or what. No? So palagay ko yung gano'n, no? Meron isang something, itutukuyin ng office yung strategic initiatives.
That's right.
Na talagang, so that when you ask for a budget,
Yes.
alam mo kung ano yung hihingin mo. And na-experience natin yan kasi sabi ni Poy, ihanda mo na yung budget ng talagang bubusisiin mo. And kung medyo may foresight tayo dito, at saka meron tayong experience, alam mo kung paano yung yung talagang pa-prioritize natin. And probably it could change over the years. Pwede mag-change. Now, yung mga summit na yan, pwedeng gawing regular, every 3 years. Hindi naman yearly, Every 3 years, every 2 years, something like that, no? So, pipiliin talaga kung ano yung mahalaga, na tapos secondly, and you already mentioned it, yung alumni talaga.
Yes.
Mayaman ang alumni ng UP. My God. No? I think yun yung iniwan namin. Kaya lang, umalis ako, and I don't know what happened. And singit lang to, nagkataka ako nung sabi ko, ba't kaya ako hindi kinukonsult ng mga sumunod? No, totoo yan, ha?
Naintindihan ko po.
Wala naman ako, ayoko namang bumalandar lang dyan. Hoy, tanungin niyo naman ako, di ba?
That's right.
Pero blessing naman, and it's very good, no, na without seeing each other on this, on Padayon, ang ganda nung ating transition, no?
Yes.
At saka yung foresight ng bawat isa, no? At saka yung bawat isa rin, conscious na, mandate. Critical yun eh. Hindi ka pwedeng basta, kasi your decision yun, and then you study it. And the good thing, tama yung sabi mo, no, na hindi ba binubura yung, ito project ko, iibahin ko to. Ang ganda nung flow. Kasi kung minsan ganun may project ako. Parang, may ganung ugali tayo sa Pilipinas
ganyan.
Oo, na iba ng administration to, ibahin ko to. Tatak ko to, yung gano'n. Ang maganda yung flow.
Yes,
That's why.
right.
So, yun lang, gusto kong idagdag doon. Ayun, ang siningit ko lang yan, pero yun nga, yung alumni. Mayaman ang alumni ng UP.
Yes.
And we have to tap that. No? And lastly, a challenge. Nabanggit na rin to partly kanina, yung mag-generalize to na parang kaluluwa ng bawat UP constituent.
Yes.
No? In the same way that there was a time na pahinungod, parang nagiging gano'n na Pero yung Padayon, maging siya ng bawat unit, conscious sila doon. And at malaking tulong sa atin yon. Dahil kung gano'n sila voluntarily mag-report.
Correct.
Ito yung aming pwedeng gawin, i-contribute dyan. No? Ito nga, kaya magandang yung na-evolve tayo through crisis, disasters, and need. No? Yun lang.
One more thing, no? Ganda sabi ni Dr. Ferdy, yung strategic initiatives. Tapos kinakailangan magkaroon ng needs assessment.
Yes, correct.
Ano ba yung needs natin? Kasi nagbabago din di ba? Sa mga Gen Z. Later on, mga alpha generation na yan, di ba? And speaking of Gen Z and alpha generation, technology. So, of course, ang pinanggalingan natin, communities di ba? Physical, ay mga spaces na where we are needed. Pero ngayon, halimbawa, ang technology, magandang din ng Padayon, public service din yun Like, pwedeng coordination with, yung sa education, yung teaching, ano ba yung office na yun? Dati ay,
Office of Advancement Teaching.
Kasi mga chat GPT.
Sakto
Chat
ka lang.
GPT. Chat GPT Zero, di ba? Ano yung mga app na ma-check ito mga to? Kasi we're doing also public service dito. Not only for the sake of mga professors na ma-identify agad sila ng plagiarize, no? Trabaho namin before yun kasi we serve sa Student Disciplinary Tribunal before, no? Yung mga cheating, plagiarism, blah, blah, blah. But this time, no? Because nasa ICT na in the age of ICT, no? Ang AI hindi yan masama per se. Siyempre, iba-iba yung ng AI, no? Very helpful yan, di ba? So, para natin siya din, tapping the alumni, using also, di ba, itong AI na to, no? Para kontrahin din. Like, for instance, peddling, may mga din tayo, may mga boundaries tayo. Parang meron tayong Facebook that person mo yan, di ba? Pero once na gamitin mo yung UP, di ba? Iba na yun. So we have a way to, to check that out, di ba? So dapat meron din tayo na, kung UP as public servant, din lang tayo public intellectuals, dapat meron din tayo na way, no, na makikita na how do we serve, di ba? Baka students and faculty, may mga faculty din na, di ba, may ganun din. No? So maybe we also need that an orientation, ethics, right? Yung kasi ng orientation, di ba? But again, as I see it, kasi magiging very technologically advanced yan, come 3-5 years and all that. No? Siguro maganda, we are ready.
That's
when the time comes.
Pero ako po, parang siguro just to close this discussion, alam ko po parang kulang talaga sa atin yung oras. Sana nga po pwede tayong 10 hours to do this. Pero I think po, ang isa kong na-pick up sa inyo, and ako, the reason why I also push for this RTD is for me to also not just know the history of Padayon and to appreciate it, but also, I think, and this is something that I'm getting from everyone, ay yung idea ng continuity. And it's really an office that, based also on my experience, at tama po kayo na people would, when another person comes in for the job, they like try to erase everything and start
sa kanya lang.
parang credit sa kanya lang. But I'm happy to note nga po pala na this office pala really,
Hindi,
it
yes.
did not,
We continue
Meron
from-
lang, may mga ginawa lang na adjustments
Yes.
to adjust with the times, no? Or to modify it with the times. But like generally, what Sir Ferdy has done, continued on with Sir Nelson, with Ma'am Marot, with Ma'am Jet, and
Yes.
I'd like to believe I'm continuing
Of
that.
course.
Kasi nga parang nung umupo din po ako sa opisina, parang wala kang babaguhin dito. Meron ka lang i-adjust. Pero the programs are really all geared
In
towards the
place.
idea of public service, and they are all in place, no. And I think that lends credence nga to the idea that Padayon, the word itself and how you're envisioning it to be like a boat that really flows. It's also really what happened with
Yes,
all of the
yes.
directors, di ba?
We moved forward.
We moved
just
forward, but in a continuity, not in
Towards
a
one direction.
Yes, we were in one
Okay,
direction.
bad yun eh, bad yun. Towards one direction.
Tama po. So, I guess, ang ganda po nung mga ganong takeaway, no? And I hope na yung mga nanonood, mga nakikinig, no? At saka, syempre, Padayon staff, I think more importantly, you're able to get not only a sense of history, but more than anything, an appreciation, no? Of how the office has evolved through the years and how it has evolved according to the needs of the times. Not just, I think, of UP as an institution, but kung ano yung kailangan ng panahon. Kaya, at the time,
That's
it was
right.
disaster.
That's disaster.
Diba? Mental health,
We even
pandemic.
went into gender.
Yes,
Gender.
exactly.
Gender.
Oh. So it is an office that adjusts and adapts, no, to
Yes.
the flows and the challenges, no.
Sorry, Director, before you do your concluding note. As a testament to that, our office was actually awarded the Anvil Award. Thanks, of course, to the programs that were started by my
exactly. So,
predecessors.
I think the office is in good hands talaga po.
Yes.
It has been in good hands since the very
Blessed,
beginning.
the office.
And because of that, we would like to give you a little something.
Ito muna, no?
Hindi kami matapos talaga.
Parting words. Alam nyo, I think the Padayon office will not fade away. Why? We don't need, the Padayon office does not need any kind of advertisement. Why? Everybody says, Padayon! Padayon!
Yes.
It's a really good name.
Yes.
Yeah, that itself is already an advertisement. It's a buzzword already.
Correct.
It's a
So
very
it will not fade away.
Ano yan galing kay Pae. We just picked on it na ito kaya gawin
Every time
Kasi
he ends
every
his speech,
niya,
no?
Padayon.
That's right, that's right.
Tapos
Yes,
siya
yes.
yung tumawag nga sa phone, Popoy, anong ginagawa natin? Anong nangyari sa Iligan? Ang ginagawa ng UP?
Yeah.
Kaya importante rin yung
Yeah, at ginagamit na yan ng madla.
Yes.
Padayon.
Oo.
Yung mga iba hindi nila naintindihan, pero Padayon na
Padayon,
sila Padayon.
Padayon.
Pero okay na din yan.
That's
Kasi
good.
It's a really good
it's a
name.
free publicity.
Yeah, it's a really good name for an office to have.
Yes,
Presidenta Pascual, napakinggan
Shout out.
binanggit kita.
Shout out.
Shout out today.
Yeah, and then directors come and go. We all come and
Yes,
go.
yes.
But I think the spirit of Padayon
The Padayon remains.
Yeah, remains.
will
That's
live.
right.
Will live.
And especially the staff. I think more
Yes.
than
Yeah.
anything, they do have an appreciation of what the office
Yes,
is.
Yeah.
yes.
It's also very important to recognize the Padayon staff and
Yes!
Kudos.
They did with the
Yeah.
office, no? Because yun
The
nga po,
spirit.
Yes.
Padayon come and go, but they remain the institutional memory of the office.
Yeah.
Yung may wala kang problema sa staff? Hindi.
Wala.
Time niya.
No. We started with that one na
With a very small staff.
sino ang kukunin?
Ngayon kasi
Yung
sir,
yung tinitingnan namin, okay ba yan?
ngayon we've grown to 13 people.
Yeah.
Kasi maganda rin yung may ganong culture na
Apo.
nagsimula ka na hindi ganito yung mga tao, yung ganon. Importante yung starting
That's-
point.
Yeah, oo.
Yes.
Oo.
Yung mahirap yung kanya.
Oo, yun talaga. That's the hardest phase.
Birth pains talaga yung
Oo, birth pains.
Kung babalag ako ng palakol, gaganon talaga siya.
Totoo.
Naghukay,
Just to establish the
Totoo
office.
yan.
Kami na lang
It
po
was-
yung
We're lucky. na-
Kami naman naglagay ng tent. Naglagay
nag-interior and
Embellishments
kayo
lang
po talaga yung
tama.
foundation. So,
Yeah.
with that, yes, we would like
Yes,
congratulations.
But before that, we do have something to give you. It's a very small
Wow.
token po. Bigay natin sa kanila yung maliit na token.
Baka naman sobrang liit.
Just to, to commemorate.
Sabi, yung mga maliliit daw, yun yung mga mamahalin.
Ganun ba? Diamond sana, no?
In this case po, maliliit lang po talaga siya.
And just like Padayon forever.
But diamonds are forever.